Smell that? It's time for a swing dance reaction video.
No. No. No.
Woo! Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Street Smart Swing. My name is Jamin Jackson, also known as the Galactic Swing Dance Umpire. And I am super excited to be scrutinizing another Lindy Hop competition today. But first, make sure you subscribe and mash that notification button so you never miss a swing dance reaction video ever again. All right, it looks like we are going back to America. This is Smackdown 2020 Jack and Jill Finals. This means you're gonna have a leader and a follower come together and they're gonna improvise, give us something special. Let's hope. I can't wait to see it. I don't think I've ever been to this event to see some swing dancing. Do not let your hearts be troubled. I will be telling you the absolute truth about who I feel are the winners of this competition. So if you are someone who gets triggered by the truth, this is not the place for you. All right, let's get right down to business. We're in Ohio, folks, and my house. This isn't American Idol. This is my house. Okay, now, ooh, interesting. I see some familiar faces. I'm not sure where all these dancers are from, but I know I've probably danced with a few of them. And it's going to be interesting to see what they can do in this competition. And there's some faces I don't know, which I like that. This is going to make it somewhat of a surprise. Somebody comes out and does something I haven't seen before. They're going to get massive props. Oh, and they're playing my jam. If you've never listened to Betty Goodman's Sextet, it's one of my favorite swing bands of all time. There's just something about that sound that, you know, I can play anywhere. If I'm driving to work, if I'm reading, it's just so cool and relaxed. All right, I'm telling you right now, I've kind of got an idea of who I like so far in this competition. But let's see what they do when they start doing their solo moments with their partner. Yes, this is interesting. The level's kind of the same for most people in this one. Hey, okay. I really like this couple so far. The dancing seems to be a little light. And I can appreciate how the follower is moving. I think the tone of it is really matching what the follower is doing. And this leader is doing a lot of syncopations with his feet to accentuate that tone. And I like it. And I like they're getting a little bit more time. Yeah, this is interesting. This leader is really rhythmic. He's got an ear to hear those nuances, and they both delivered. She was cool and relaxed and wasn't flustered at all. All right. This is such a difficult song to dance to with these weird stops. Hey! Oh, the follower nailed some slides there. That was good. That's good. Those moments are special. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing with this couple. So far they are demonstrating the balance that I look for. Clearly they know how to control it. It meaning the technique of leading and following. They're also able to do some of the traditional shapes that are very recognizable. But what I like most about this couple is they have a sense of rhythmic timing with the music. Of course they know the song, but I'm less impressed by that. I like what this follower is doing, and I like how the leader is playing along with the follower. So far, they're my number one. All right, let's see. Come on. They both pointed at each other at the same time. I like that. Sometimes that stuff happens. You really can't control it. Lean with it, lean with it. I saw that. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to tell you what I like best about this couple. They both have the same joyful energy. That's what I like. I feel like they really match. What I like about her dancing is the great part, she's not taking big steps. I think that's a big thing, a problem that a lot of followers do in these competitions. They get excited and they start taking big steps. And it really limits the capacity of the leader to move them in different places. Because then they have to shift from leading to like just managing to see what happens and what's going to go wrong, right? And she's not doing that. She's on it. Her feet are close. I will say I could tell there were certain points when he was trying to initiate some energy. There was a tad bit too much of a delay. I could tell they were behind each other a little bit. And I don't know if he was frustrated or not, but I could tell he's trying to do some turns and she's just turning a little slowly. That tells me that there's probably some energy being created, and it's canceling out between the leader and the follower. All right. All right, clearly, for me, they have the best control of the technique where I can identify the old moves, the vintage moves, and now my eyes are waiting to see something in time like that, or I'm looking for something creative, really different. I think their skill set is equally matched. This is a really, really good couple so far. Good timing, good timing. Yeah, I like that leg flip. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it looked good. Oh, she's doing some stops. I love that. That was good. It was good, but it was missing. It was missing the key element that I saw a couple of the other couples have, which is the timing that makes it look like it's something really choreographed. And they had some good timing. They had control the most. That was their number one thing. Woo! Good footwork. This follower's great. Good timing. Okay, so what I like so far is both of these couples, they have genuine joy. She's entertained by what the leader's doing. He's having a good time with her. And they're doing things that are natural with the emotion that they feel. I like the rhythm so far and the musical choices that they're making to highlight the music. Okay. Okay. Now this is a special couple. I'm going to tell you why, what I liked about them afterward. All right, here we go. Ah, that was good. She did a triple step on that first swing out. Yeah, good footwork. Okay. Okay. This is pretty competitive so far. Wow. Oh boy, this is a good one to talk about. Oh man, oh man, oh man. This is good. You see, I'm having to write down a whole lot more than I expected. So let's talk about this one. Boy, I gotta say, it's time for a good compliment sandwich. This is a nice, hearty compliment sandwich. So many great things about this competition that I just saw. I gotta tell you, I was quite surprised because I did not know what the level was gonna be. And I prefer that in many cases. I don't like when people put open, advanced, and And I know it's good for helping us know that there's just a lot of different people at the event that need to compete, and you can't just throw them all in one big event, nor can you just put everybody on different levels in the event in the same competition. That is if it's, obviously if it's the only competition, you've got to do that. But I sometimes I don't like that. But in this case, I liked it. Because this is an event in Ohio. I'm sure the community's kind of smaller. It's probably a collection of other people or other events where people come together from their scene to come out. And so the level of talent is sporadic. And I wanted to be wowed and surprised in terms of what was going to happen. And I will tell you, I was really surprised. I tell you all the time, you just don't know what you're going to get, because the level of dance right now is really increasing when it comes to the bare minimum. And that is, of course, is the technical part of swing dancing. It's just proliferating like at a rate that I haven't seen in a long time. This reminds me like when I first came into the scene where people were just so hungry and they were just competing at a different level just to be able to show a distinct mark on the scene. And at that time, people were just hungry to learn. And right now, I think there's a leadership void in terms of artistry in the scene, and people are kind of working harder to kind of carve out their little piece of the pie to be known and seen. And this was impressive. This kind of reminded me of that that situation that we have right now in the community. There's just a lack of like real hardcore leadership that's new. And I'm not talking about people just that are popular. Don't get me twisted on that. I'm not a fan of that, where you can just be around for a long time and just kind of do whatever you want to do. I'm saying people who are actually contributing to the art form in a way that's passionate. And I saw some of that. And I'm going to allude to some of that, the details of that here in a minute. But first, let me get to who I liked for third place. You guys know me. I have my own way of judging competitions. I've been consistent for the last 10 years on how I do it, but most people never got a chance to talk with me individually. So I like to put it on my channel so you guys can know what's going on in my mind when I'm judging a competition. First, I will tell you right now, don't do a competition if you don't like the judges. And I don't mean like personally, you don't like, oh, I don't like their attitude or whatever. Well, you may not know them. Who cares about that? What I did competitions for when I started was to beat myself. I was pushing myself to get better at the dance. Then I did competitions because I got nervous in front of a group of people. How would I feel comfortable dancing in front of a group all the time if I didn't get that nervousness out? And so I would compete to see what I could do under pressure. Then I moved from that mentality to who's actually judging the competition. Are these people who've contributed to the art form of Lindy Hop in my mind? And if they did, let me see their footage, because I want to see what they did. I want to see if it's something that I value. Do I like their dancing? So as you can see from me, I did competitions for different reasons. And when I judge, I have to be fair. I have to look at minimum, the control part, which is the technique. That's the 25% of Lindy Hop that is objective, that allows these dancers to dance with each other. They all look different. They all had different personalities. But how does it work? They've got to be able to have some basic intrinsic idea that's allowing them to be able to dance with such variety. And so all of these dancers had that. So what in the world am I going to be able to judge if they all can technically dance? This is where we have to be absolutely honest. And I am always going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth, even if it is inconvenient for me and uncomfortable for you. So everything else I'm going to say right now is subjective. It's all my biased opinion, but I'm going to lay out for you, like I said, why I like to do it. So number one is the control. And the third place couple that had the most control for me, and they didn't have the other two qualities as much as what I would like, because there were some that had it better, or should I say all three in the top three had these qualities, but some of them had them a little better than others. And better, we'll talk about that word too. Third place for me goes to the couple. She had white, I think I might know her. I can't remember her name, but she has a white shirt on and kind of like lime green pants. And he had like orange, white, and blue striped shirt. I loved their dancing. Number one benefit and quality that they offered to me as a viewer is that they had control of the technique. I could clearly see the leader giving energy to the partner, the follower, and she literally had matched the same energy. I didn't see her adding energy to where you could see that there was some type of conflict between the two, because that actually happens. Just because you look good doing stuff when you're social dancing doesn't mean that you're actually dancing well, because at first it's a kinesthetic thing that's happening between two people, and the audience gets to participate and enjoy that vicariously, but we don't feel anything. So I didn't see, from what I noticed with their dancing, that there was that type of disconnect between the two dancers. They were lovely. I liked their footwork. I liked that they were dancing in the metronome. It was just like this hard rhythm that I saw in their dancing that everybody had, but they had a joy that was there, that was getting a reaction from the audience. So in my mind, that took. It made me want to watch them more, and they were just grinding in that metronome, and I love that. Most of the movements that I noticed too that they were leading were extremely clear. I knew when the leader was setting something up, and I could see the follower be the echo of that idea in a way that brought value to the beginning of the idea. And I thought, that's cool. They probably had the best lead moves in the competition, but again, for me, that goes to the control part that I value so much, mainly because we have to add value to everything that has come before in swing dancing. We can't just come in and do whatever we want to do. So at bare minimum, you've got to have the control, and you've got to be able to master all of those old shapes. So they did a lot of that, and I appreciated their dancing. So my number 2 couple is a little different. The reason I like the number 2, it's tough because I'm torn. There's at least one other couple that I wanted to have in the top 3, and I can't put them there. Actually, there's 2 couples. Why don't we just, I can't change the rules. I got to be consistent. So my number 2 couple is, she had on blue. She had like blue with a black shirt, and he had like a green jacket. I'm going to tell you right now, they had the best timing for me. Of course, they had the control, but they had the best organic timing, where whenever they did something that showed the music changing, people call that musicality. I like to just say timing. They were picking certain parts in the music to illustrate with their body movement, and whenever they did that, I could hear the song more. For whatever reason, the song stood out more to me when they were showing musicality more so than the other dancers, except my number 1. So this couple, I really liked her footwork. She was doing some slides on the swing out. You got to go back and watch it. She was doing like some different slides. He was doing swing outs in like the metronome, just right on top of the beat. And she would go out and do that, but then she would add this little slide there, but she didn't take away anything from the initial call. It wasn't like she did a slide and like jumped 10 feet out, so where the leader's like having to grab her before she runs into the wall or something. I didn't see any of that between this couple. And she was extremely playful. He was a little bit more he was playful, but it was more like timidly playful. It was very cautious playfulness. And I liked that because I felt like he liked her. He enjoyed watching her dance, and he was saying with his own body, hey, let's keep doing this together. This is fun. I'm having a good time. So in a way, it was almost like he was following the follow in terms of the tonality of the joy and the rhythm that they were showing us. I thought she was really, really leading the tone of it, and his tone never overrided hers. That's what I loved about it. That's what I loved about them the most. Their timing was incredible. They had a lot of moments. I counted like 3 moments where they improvised, and it wasn't really choreographed. They were kind of mirroring each other, and the music was elevated. That is extremely important to me because I want to feel something. I don't want to just look at dancers moving well, but the music is left out. That's pretty much what bebop did. The musicians are having a good time, but the dancers are left out because we can't actually dance to a consistent beat. Everything is changing all the time. So when they did their set, I valued the control, but more importantly, I valued the timing. That was incredible. Now, let's get to my first place. This was tricky. I was surprised by my first place because The control part was there, but I will tell you the traditional elements of the control were lacking in certain areas. Meaning, I'm assuming this leader was trying to do swing outs or different shapes that look like the old shapes. Because clearly that's what he was mirroring, some of those movements from the past. But I felt that in some cases the movements weren't 100% like it. I could feel like there was like a delay in certain parts that were kind of lazy, or the shoulders would kind of rock a little bit. Those are quirky little things that happen when we are getting into swing and growing in that process. But again, it could be his personality. It could be his unique swing out. It could be his unique styling. And I can't be too hard on that, but I also can't just reward a lot of creativity without looking at how well the dancer can do those old movements in a way that looks like the old movements. So I will tell you right now, my number one couple, this goes to the follower who had the red pants on, the white shirt, and she had like a red flower in her hair, and the leader who had like a blue, I think it's blue suit, he had glasses, white shoes. What I liked about them is I was entertained. The reason I was entertained is because the unexpected happened. It was not too pre-programmed. This is the creative element I'm talking about. You have timing as you have control as the foundation. You have timing as the uniqueness of the structure of the building. And then the icing on the cake, that roof, to make it stand out the most for me, is the creativity part. And this couple had it. They had some movements where the leader was trying different things, going on the ground to do things. Rhythmically, they were doing things that were not too pre-programmed. He was hitting some of those syncopations, not like lightly getting to them, so we kind of know they're coming. He was doing syncopations that I did not anticipate. And I appreciate that as a professional, where I can watch someone and I really don't know what they're going to do. Now, a lot of that is because they're still growing. They're still growing and they feel all this passion and they're moving. They have the rhythm inside of them. So sometimes they're just, when they feel something, they're just going to let it out. That's what I like about Lindy Hop, is when people can keep that element without losing it and maturing at the same time. That is an art form to be able to do that. It's really hard. And I hope that leader, number one, continues to grow in those areas where the classic moves look more classic and more refined without losing that rhythm part that he had. She, on the other hand, I appreciate them because she was literally having a good time with the leader, but she stayed on the line. Every time he did some kind of cool turn, he wasn't trying to like chase his partner. She was literally on the line. I like that she wasn't trying to compete with him. You can tell he had a little bit more to say than her. She was enjoying him, like having a good time. It was like they're having a good conversation. She was doing some light syncopations on the swing outs. That let me know a little bit more about her personality, which was great. It was great. It wasn't too much. It had the control. It had the timing that was unexpected, but the creativity was the number one thing I liked with that couple. Now I'm going to tell you my favorite. I'm telling you, they were number one for me, and it was by a close margin. It was by a close margin, and the reason I pushed them up to number one is because the creative elements. Don't forget that. That's the part that everyone will remember. They're not going to remember how great you did the control. They probably will remember whatever you do that's in timing. Even if you pick your nose in time, you can win second place. And in many cases, first place. Not for me. But if you have the creative element, that is what people want to see. Is something that they haven't seen before so that they can feel an emotional reaction. Where they can have an emotional reaction. So yeah, I'm looking at the one that I'm going to tell you my favorite dancer. He was the leader, and this is not because he's I don't know if I know everybody. I see familiar faces, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say names. But my favorite dancer, in terms of leaders, was the leader. He had a like white shirt. It was a green tie. Had black glasses. He had kind of a beard. He was my favorite dancer. He looked like 30 plus. I call 30 plus. Those are people who are mature. They know what they're doing. They're not intimidated. I like the fact that I could see him being completely aware of where the music was going. He understood the music. He understood the control part of it. And he worked with his partner. She was wanting to say stuff. He acquiesced. He would stop and do certain things to make sure that they were one body sharing energy at two different points. He wasn't trying to take over the visual cues or the energy that she was doing. He was allowing the focus to go to his partner, and I love that about his dancing. What I liked is about the control. He had some creativity in a way that made me want to watch because of the control. So he was my favorite dancer. The thing that was lacking that I would have loved to see more was I didn't feel any emotion. And I'm like that sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to be like, hey, dancing with a big smile on my face. You know, I'm dancing with my partner. I want to have a good time. If we were just hanging out at night and just dancing as a social dance, I probably would kick it with him, hang out and create some stuff, probably geek out a little bit. But he was my favorite dancer for leading. My second favorite dancer, who I think has a tremendous amount of potential, was the very first couple. The leader who had green on, rhythmically, his ear is very sensitive. He is sensitive, folks. He's got some clear understandings of the musical aspects of syncopation, and he's completely in tune with his body. He knew how to put that into his body. I'm going to tell you, when the confidence goes up with him and just the ability to be more assertive in his dancing, to express and try to convey emotion and the timing part, I'm telling you, he's dangerous. Get ready. Get ready. I don't know who he is, but I liked his dancing also. In fact, he was my favorite, most creative dancer that I did not have in first place. He was the one that caught my eye the most, aside from the first place winners. Now, my favorite follower, I'm going to tell you right now, it still goes back to the follower. She wore all blue and she had black on right here. She was my favorite. She was my favorite because I already told you, but I liked the way she moved. She did not violate following. See, a lot of times followers get it twisted. They get it backwards. They think that real following means that you have to just look super fancy and do extra things all the time in order to be good. Now, I get it in terms of being recognized because there's like 2 followers to 1 in the scene. It's like literally double. So it's hard to get any recognition. So you want to find ways to stand out, but it doesn't mean that you're actually following well. Because first, you're not dancing for the audience. You're dancing first with your partner. And your partner will probably be frustrated or happy depending on what you're doing first. And that is being able to be the echo of what he started. And that is very, very hard to do. And the followers who do it, they're world class. Doesn't matter what they're doing with their footwork. The ones who do it the best are world class. And I'm going to tell you who those people are. Some of them are at your regular dances. When I go to different events and I dance and teach, I try to show up early. And I go on a Thursday or so. I try to go to their regular dance just to kind of get a feel of the scene. Just to see if people really like swing dancing. And, you know, they're out there. It's not just a bunch of cat corners and the beginners are just sitting in the back. No one's dancing with them. I don't like that at all. I don't like to go back to those places because it tells me it's not a healthy place. So when I go, I'm going to see, okay, who likes swing dancing? Who's really here? What's going on? And usually some of the world-class dancers are those people who do not look flashy. They understand how to move with the technique, sharing energy with the body more so than decorating how they look doing it. So this follower had the ability to do that, moving with the technique so that I could appreciate them as one unit, one body sharing energy at different points. But she also had the delicate balance of being able to add unique expression so that she stood out. And I love that. That is the art of doing it. If the leader struggles, the same. The leader has to be responsible for the follower, but at the same time, add some variety to the way the shapes look. He can't just abdicate all of the responsibilities of leading, right? Just to do something fancy. No, you're responsible for the follower too. So both of you guys have to work together. She demonstrated it the best to me. I really liked her dancing. I appreciate it, and I hope she continues to bless us with her presence. What you guys think about this one? I thought it was really fun. You heard my comments, my This is my house, guys. I get to say whatever I want in my house. You're in my house right now, so you're hearing my opinion, unedited, and I love telling you the truth. So that's how I feel. This is the truth about how I feel about what I saw, and I've given you my subjective reasons of how I normally judge. If you don't like them, that's okay. Go pound sand. This is what normally happens in competitions, except you don't hear any context, and I'm giving you context. So make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a swing dance reaction video ever again, so to always hear the context. Now, let me know who you guys thought should have won this in the comment section for you, because judges there probably have a thing that they liked, and you know me, I've just told you what I like, but it's really about what you liked as an audience member. What did you like? Are you involved yet in swing dancing? Were you sitting in the audience there? Are you sitting at home watching this? Go, man, this is exciting. I want to swing dance now. Because that's what it takes. It takes people to inspire others to want to swing dance. That's how most of us got in, from seeing a social dance or seeing a video and someone invited us to the dance. We were scared, we were nervous. Everybody has that starting point. But anybody can do this dance. And I would encourage you to just jump right in, do the dance. It's a lot of fun. You could probably take lessons from some of these dancers in this video if you're in that area. If you're at home, you can take lessons from me. This is my home studio. So I encourage you, check out some of my free classes below. I've got over 25 classes for you. They're really, really fun. A lot of different movements you've probably never seen before. I'm extremely passionate about doing new stuff in Lindy Hop. So let me know if you enjoy that. If you guys are wanting a very streamlined approach, if you like my whole method of judging, you should check out some of our classes. We have a very specific approach to being able to master swing dancing without taking forever. I remember the feeling when I first came in. I felt like this was going to take forever because I could not get a streamlined approach since I was taking from every teacher in the world, different people, different countries. I traveled over 200 different countries in the last 10 years. So it felt really frustrating after 10,000 hours to just then figure out what's objective and what's subjective. And so I've put that all together for you people who want to be able to cut your time in half. So it doesn't take you 3 or 4 years to get good. You can get good in 6 months. I encourage you to check out my fundamentals membership. It will bless you and change your life. So with that said, guys, I'm going to finish my cold coffee. If I don't see your comments below, hopefully I get a chance to see you in one of my classes online. Take care.